So we need to edit that, so I'll just type, let's say for example, let's say 9672, and it's just random. Okay, so I'll just type, let's say 9672, and this is my port. And you can also go ahead and add the IP address, just in case you want to add a specific IP address over here. Just remove this tag file and type in the IP address over here, whatever you want to type. Something like, let's say for example, this 192.168.2.16, and just go ahead and remove this over here, and it will go ahead and listen to this address. But since we are actually not going to change our IP address at this point of time, so I'll just be using these. After this, keep each and every other thing the same. Permit root login should be yes, in case you want to log in. Allow any other person to go ahead and log in as root, which in case of Kali Linux you should, because there is no other login by default generated. And then the next thing that you will need to check is to permit empty passwords. Make sure that this is no, because else any person can just go ahead and know your IP address and connect it to your computer without even knowing the password. The next thing would be the password authentication would be yes. Okay, so everything is perfect, so I'll just type Control X. As you can see, this part over here, it is to exit, so I'll just type Control X. It's asking me to save, so I'll type capital yes and enter. So it is now saved perfectly. Now I'll just go ahead and type cat and sshd_config. This cat is to go ahead and read text files over here without actually editing them. So once I press cat, it will go ahead and give me all the information that is there inside SSHD, which will show me whether my changes have been successful or not. And I just typed cat, so let's go ahead and check if our IP address, okay, 9672, perfect, it's actually generated. So I'll just go over here and open another terminal, and over here I'll type service SSH restart. This will go ahead and restart the SSH service, which is because in case you go ahead and make any kind of changes over here, you need to make sure that you go ahead and restart this service. Okay, it's restarted. Now I'll just type SSH root @localhost. Localhost, in case you're connecting to someone else's computer, make sure that instead of localhost, you go ahead and type in the specific IP address. If it's the IP address that you set it over here was, let's say for example, as I told you previously, you could set the IP address over here. You can also go ahead and use 192.168.2.16, and this would be IP address of that specific computer where you want to connect. In our case, I would be using localhost since I am actually going to access my own computer through SSH, and -p, that's for the port, and our port is 9672, so I'll just type 9672. And just one more thing to make sure is that this root, this is actually the username, and in our case we don't have any specific user over here. By default our login is as root, so in the live file, so I'll be using root. In case the person is having some kind of username, you would use that, and I'll hit enter. It will ask me to go ahead and create an authenticity for that, so I'll have to type in yes, and it will ask me the password for that. So by default there is no password set. In case, so I'll just type TOOR, which is the by default password for Kali Live, I suppose. Okay, perfect. As you can see, this specific is actually created, and this is my terminal, which is created by the main admin part. You may think that these are the same things, but the only thing why you are seeing the same, because I actually gathered a root. I actually went ahead and actually tried to take the root, let's say for example, the root information or the root permission of my own directory. That's why it's showing me that it's connected. Just in case you had entered the wrong password, it won't allow you to go ahead and do the same thing. So I'll just type enter, and the session will exit. If I type the same thing and I'll type just enter, enter, and enter, you will see permission denied because the password I tried was a wrong one. Even in case if I go and type to use anything else or any other localhost, it will straight away go ahead and deny me because the port is wrong. So just make sure that these things are necessary, and once you go ahead and gather a root connection over there by typing the same thing, you can just go ahead and do whatever you want, and this is the root file from a server or any other computer. So I think that would be it for this tutorial as of now. And yeah, just before I proceed, I'll just go ahead and start my Windows 7 machine, and I'll show you as to how we could go ahead and actually install the same thing in the Windows computer, which is the SSH part. So I'll just wait till this gets started. For Windows, the specific software is known as PuTTY, which in the case of Kali Linux, it's known as SSH. Putty's SSH configuration application, which is extremely secure tunneling based application. So once you go ahead and gather the access to your computer, victim's computer, make sure that you install Putty remotely into his computer so that you can go ahead and access anything through SSH. I'll just go ahead and start it over here. Okay, perfect. So I'll just go over here on the Internet Explorer. I'll type download Putty. It's a very famous, so you can just go ahead and download it from over here. Just make sure to download it from the original site. And here. Perfect. So you can just go and download this specific file as putty.exe. Okay, as of now, I won't be able to download this file, but just in case you had, you could just go ahead and download this specific file. I'll have to go ahead and download this over here on the desktop, and once it's done, I'll go ahead and show you in the next tutorial how we could go ahead and access this. So I think that would be it for this tutorial, guys, and thank you for watching this tutorial right now, and have a nice day ahead.